Why do Catholics walk into a church, dip their fingers in water, and make the sign of the cross? Is it tradition? Or is there something deeper going on? Holy water is one of the most recognizable and misunderstood practices in Catholicism. To some, it looks like a ritual. To others, maybe even superstition. But once you understand it, you start to see it everywhere, and realize it actually tells a much bigger story. Basically, holy water is water that has been blessed by a priest. But that blessing sets it apart. Holy water is a sacramental, something that prepares a person to receive God's grace. Instead, it points beyond itself to something spiritual happening beneath the surface. In Catholic traditional churches, when preparing holy water for the laity to use, the priests bless the water, then he blesses the salt, and he then adds it into holy water. Adding the salt has deep meaning in the Bible. Healing, it mirrors the prophet Elisha, who cast salt into the springs of Jericho to heal the deaf in the water. Exorcism, in the traditional rite, salt is exorcised to drive away serpent. It's a spiritual weapon. Preservative, just as salt stops meat from rotting, it symbolizes preserving the soul from the rot of sin and demonic influence. Wisdom, salt is a traditional symbol of wisdom, representing the salt of the earth and the discernment required to live a faithful life. So when salt is added to the blessed water, it reinforces what holy water represents. Cleansing, beyond physical dirt, it symbolizes the washing away of venial sin and the spiritual dust we pick up in the world. Rebirth, it is a constant echo of baptism. Every drop reminds the soul and the enemy that you have already died to the world and risen with Christ. Extinguisher, in spiritual warfare, holy water is used to cool the heat of temptation and quench the fiery darts of the devil. Exorcism, holy water is specifically commanded to become an exorcised creature, empowered to put to flight all the power of the enemy wherever it is sprinkled. Today, this practice of adding salt to the holy water is still used in the traditional church. Unfortunately, in most modern churches, the blessing is simpler, and the salt is optional. Holy water is usually placed right at the entrance of a church. Before stepping in, Catholics pause, even for a second, dip their fingers, and make the sign of the cross. It's a reset moment, a way of leaving everything else behind before entering something sacred. So why do Catholics still use it today? First, it's a reminder of our baptism. A quiet way of saying, I've been made new. Second, it helps refocus the mind. In a distracted world, even a small physical action can bring your attention back to God. And third, it's a way of inviting God into everyday life. The idea of sacred water goes back thousands of years. In the Old Testament, it was used for purification and healing. In the New Testament, it becomes central to baptism, a moment of transformation and new beginning. Holy water flows directly from that. Every time it's used, it echoes that same message: cleansing, renewal, and new life. Holy water isn't just something individuals use. Every Sunday in the traditional Latin Mass, you'll see a priest use it at the beginning of Mass. He sprinkles the congregation with the holy water. And it is a more ancient form called the asperges. The name comes from the Latin phrase asperges me, meaning, you shall sprinkle me. As the priest walks through the church sprinkling holy water, a chant is sung asking for cleansing and mercy. The asperges rite helps the laity by preparing their souls for the holy sacrifice of Mass, through purification, baptismal renewal, and protection from evil. A way of spiritually getting readying before the Mass begins. And then there's baptism itself, where water takes center stage. This is a sacrament, the moment a person officially enters the church. Water is poured, or the person is immersed, symbolizing cleansing, rebirth, and a completely new beginning. Priests also use holy water to bless people, homes, and religious objects. It's a way of dedicating something to God, setting it apart with intention. Catholics often take holy water home. They might bless themselves before leaving the house. We bless our families and our children, our homes, our pets, and take it in our cars. We use it during prayer or in moments of stress or uncertainty. It's about bringing faith into ordinary, everyday life. The holy water is used with intention and faith. It becomes a reminder of something much deeper.